Right, hello everyone. My friend turned up yesterday with all this. It's an old BMX frame, and he's got this strange, crazy idea. He wants to put this little old two-stroke engine on it, and he's got these old Vespa wheels which he wants to put on it, which is weird, but there you go. He just wants it for knocking about on around his place. Want something different. I said I'd see if I could help him. It's not going to be road legal or anything, so. And he's got this little dinky fuel tank which he wants the frame cut there and that fitted in, so it'll be part of the frame, which this has got a steel bar that runs through it as well, so it'll add to the thing. But this has all got to be made wider to fit this and the thing and the drive mechanism. So, and then he wants said he's got the front fork from an old Vespa which he wants to put on here, but it won't never go through that, so we might have to do some modification. So anyway, but we'll see what's gonna go on. I'm gonna sit and think about it for a while and try and figure out in my head what I need to do, and we'll come back to it. See what I can conjure up. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, little bit of an update. I've been mooching in my boxes, and a lot of you might remember I used to own Suzuki Bandit 1200s, and I got this. This is the drive wheel off a Vespa, and it's driven from the motor with a spline, which of course we're not going to be able to use. So I was having a mooch about, and I found my old drive hub off my Suzuki Bandit, and I'd still got the spacer, the drive shaft and the bearings. Obviously I put new bearings in, and I've also got the bolts and a drive sprocket, which is good. So this needs to be 1 millimeter smaller on the outside to fit in this groove here. So what I plan to do is, where these would normally have the cush drive rubbers on, I'm going to machine out a gap, probably an inch and a half, something like that. And I've got the cush drive rubbers somewhere in the thing. I can cut them down side and get them to fit in there, and then that will all sit in there nicely with a spacer between there and there, and then that will go all the way through. We will then have a drive sprocket, and all I'll need on the other side, better take that out because it will fall over, is machine that out to fit that in there, and then machine that big enough to fit the original bearings in, and then that too will have a spacer. So, and then that will be that. So what I'm going to do now is cut these back frames off there and there, cut that one in the middle so they're separate, and these have got, I've measured it roughly, these have got to be 4 inches, 2 inches each side wider apart to fit everything in. And then hopefully, well, I'll try and work it right so that the alignment between the drive gear cog and the motor, which will be here, will line up. And then but that's technically the easy bit. This is the hard bit. So that's the cunning plan. So I'm going to get on with that, and I'll bring you back when I'm a bit when I've got a bit further on. So cheers for now. We have a plan. Hi, welcome back everyone. A little update. Right, I machined that to fit that. So we've got a bearing in there now, goes through, got a space on that. I've got to change the length of the shaft, and then we've got that. That's not a right drive cog for that, but it's good for a mock-up. So, and that's all in there brilliantly, locks in perfect. So now I'm just making sure this is all now level. It's amazing what you have to do to get level. But it needs to be level, can't be closer. That'll do. Right, and make sure the drive's upright, which it is. Lovely jubbly. Right, now I can weld crossbar on there, which will then weld on there, and then those bits that are down there will go back onto here. All clever stuff. So anyway, there we are for now. That's actually off a Suzuki Bandit 1200, and what I've done, where there's some fingers that stick out that the cush drives go on, the rubbers. Well, what I've done is I've machined inside this where the brake drum would normally be. I've machined them so those fingers fit into them perfectly. I had to take 1.5 mil off the outside of that for it to fit snug, perfect. So we've got a direct drive. Lovely jubbly. So that's the plan anyway. We've got clearance for the chain. We've got to figure out where the chain's going yet, but that's something else. I'm going to put this bar on, then offer it up and see if I can figure out where the engine and everything sits so that the chain will travel in the right place. I mean, that probably won't be having a sprocket that big. So right, anyway, bit of progress. Cheers for now. See you when we've got a bit more. Hello everyone. Right, I've got the back wheel mocked up roughly to where I think we need it. I've got to shorten that, and the front down fork for the whatever you call it, scooter thingy, Vespa Douflon. Basically I shorten the front tube which holds the handlebars and everything by about 6 inches I think, which I'm just welding back on, and I machined this down just under this thread. Just took a tiny bit off, which will now fit inside there, and I can use the same bearings. So that's a bonus. All good stuff. So yeah, I've got to finish the front now to offer that up, to make sure the back's in the right place for position engine wise, and whether it's for missing chains and so on and so forth. So that's that's what I'm up to. Right, I'll try. It's a bit hard to get. Where did I put my? Oh, where did I put my? There we go. Put my stand. Right, let me just get this set up and I'll be back. I'll try and get some arc shots. Okay, I'll try my best. That's extremely difficult for me to get into, but I've put my camera inside my helmet and hopefully I can get just enough get in there so you can see what I'm blooming doing. But it's a bit tricky to say the least, but never mind. Especially with my heel and not my foot, which makes it a bit weird. Right, hopefully that came out for you. I'll check on the video a bit later. Right, I'll see if that came out, and I'll put this, I'll finish this welding, and then I'll put it all together and see what I can see and bring you back. Cheers for now. Right, there we go. Sort of. That's probably the trickiest bit to do anyway. That's not my idea of fun, but well, there you go. So right now there's plenty of clearance for the engine to sit up there now. I've got to worry about that sitting down too low. And see what we can do now. Figure out the fuel tank, that little fuel tank he wants in the framework. He wants that actually in the frame. So we'll see what we can do with that. So there we go. Cheers for now. I'll be back shortly, or even later. Right, hello everyone. Welcome back. Quick update. Right, engine brackets are in. So that's sorted. I might be using, where did I put it? Might be under here. Yeah. Timber. This is the push bike sprocket. So I might be using that yet. So I'd machine that out to fit over there and fit that on, because that sprocket's way too big for the thing. Well, I'll cut that out. Right, what I plan to do here is I'll measure it exactly. I was going to weld that in that end and then slip a pipe in there, but it'll be bloody awkward, so I'll cut 2 slithers, weld a slither on that end, 1/2 inch or something, and then however much I've got left, weld it on that end, because that's a dome shape, so that'll do that. Right, so the only thing I might have to do is, it's going to change the exhaust anyway, that's a bit of crap, and I might have to, that's not, well, it's not majorly close, but it might mean if the carburetor don't quite fit, we might have to tinker with a little side pipe or something. But apart from that, there's the front fork. Cleaned the wheel up, repaired the crack that was in there, and put new bearings in. So that's all done. So I'm on the final stretch really. Do that, put it all back together, and then you can take it away and get the chain and put the brakes on and seat and paint it and do whatever he's going to do. So right, I'll bring you back when it's all back together. Cheers for now. Well, there we go. I think that's me just about finished. Oh my god, I think he's going to put different handlebars on it, but oh dear me. I'll leave him to get the engine. We might have to move that, just do something with the, because I don't know how big the choke is, the carb, so we might have to do a little bit of a wingle wangle, and he's got to get a chain. So, and there won't be any once you push start it, it's running. So you ain't, unless you lift the back wheel off the floor, because there's no freewheel. Not sure this chain's going to change. This cog's going to be any good, but we'll have to figure that one out as and when. Oh dear. So anyway, that really is about it for me. I've managed to get this fuel tank in, and that's all sealed. It's only little welds just round just to hold it. I didn't want to go all the way around. No point. There's no strength there. So, and it's doing its job. There we go. He'll do something with the mud guard, and because the mud guard will be too big in that respect for that. So whether he wants to cut it down or whatever. So I haven't tightened anything up. It's just, I've just left it so he can do with as he wishes. There you go. All good. Just had to put a little, very small, thin shim, very, very thin piece of metal in there just to help it clamp, because it was a different size. So, right. Hopefully when it's all done and painted and running, he'll tell me and I'll go and take a video of it. So there we go for now. I haven't got a clue what you'd call it. It's BMX. It's a BMX frame, Vespa wheels and fork, and a Atco Villiers engine out of an Atco lawnmower. So you make up your own name. Anyway, cheers for now. I'll see what else I can figure out to do. Cheers, bye bye.